So I grew up in Hillsborough, New Jersey. My dad was a chemist, my mom's a piano teacher. My family is from Taiwan. My parents are immigrants. My family back then, they were really wealthy. They had a lot. They had department stores, the biggest department store in all of Taiwan. So when my family's town got bombed in Taiwan, they actually lost everything. And they had to rebuild, they had to restart, and they went from having it all to having nothing at all. And my dad would tell me that when he would go to school, my grandmother, she would give him money for bread or for lunch every single day, and he would never use it for food because he wanted to save up all the money he had to buy some textbooks to be able to study, because he thought that being able to have an education would provide a better life for his future family. I went to college. I was at Rutgers University. I was actually planning on going to law school. And I had a friend that was working at American Income, and he kept trying to bring me on board, and I really did not want to. My schedule was full. I was working 12-hour days between real estate and bartending and serving and studying for school and being in a sorority and trying to have a social life on top of all of that too. And I pushed him off for a year. I remember going to my dad thinking that he would tell me that it was a stupid idea, and he told me, he actually looked at me and said, "Well, what's the worst thing that can happen? Just give it a shot." I was very nervous when I started with American Income and AO. I remember, always having that doubt. You always have that what if. What if I just went to law school, or what if I did that differently? But I saw the type of money that you could make at American Income, and more importantly, I saw opportunity unlimited. So I decided that I was just going to embrace where I was and just plant myself and grow. And so I went into it with the mentality that I was not going to fail. I wasn't going to let myself fail, that I was going to succeed no matter what.
This business is not hard. You have the recipe that Rick gave us. All you have to do is put in the pieces and you're gonna get the results.
Now I'm out here looking like revenge, feeling like a 10, the best I ever been.
So I grew a team. I was out in New Jersey, and it was incredible, but eventually I just felt like I reached my ceiling there. The best way I can put it is, you ever feel like you are a big fish in a small pond and you just don't have any room to grow? Well, that's kind of how it was. So I decided that I was going to do something different, and that's when I met Mark Nielsen. And he told me that, I should move out to California. So in 2018, in October, I packed everything up and flew out to California to start a new career, or a new start to a career with AO. And then they gave me the opportunity to move up to Seattle. You don't say no to opportunity, so I said yes, and it was the biggest leap of faith in my entire career. So I packed up my bags, I packed everything I could fit into my little S3 at the time. I had my dog Bailey, my 85-pound golden retriever, sitting in my passenger seat. It was dark, and I remember this long drive. I was just thinking to myself, what if I fail? What if I fail? I'll have to move back to New Jersey, and I don't want to do that. And I remember just kind of shaking myself and said, you can't think like that. You're not going to fail. You're going to succeed. You're going to do whatever it takes to succeed. 13 hours later, drove up to Seattle, signed a lease and everything. And from there, that was the biggest leap of faith I ever did. The team that I have now, oh my gosh, they are incredible. They are my biggest pride, my biggest joy, and they're family to me, All of these men and women, so crazy to see where they started in this business. They're like little children of yours, and you see them, you watch them grow up, and you watch their journey, and you watch the type of leader that they become. There's no words to describe the feeling. It's like being a parent is what I would imagine it. But my team is just, they're incredible. They're so supportive. They care for one another. They celebrate together. They just truly treat each other like family. And I think that's the biggest thing is I've always been treated like family when I came into AO, and I wanted that same culture within my team. So I made sure that every single person, same thing like AO, it doesn't matter if it's your first day with us or you've been with us for years, but you're treated the exact same way.
AO, let's go!
I want to be remembered by all the different people that I've helped and all the people that I've led. I want them to remember me as somebody that inspired them and somebody that opened their mind and opened their thinking to be able to have more than they ever dreamt that they would ever have. I want to be remembered as the person that inspired them to be able to accomplish and reach all the dreams that they wanted and have all the things that they can for their families within AO.